you have to have a steel mind for progress in life, for moving ahead, because there will always be circumstances. But your heart should always be kind and warm, trying to love more and more each day.
Hi. Today we're with someone whose work beautifully spans across spatial design, furniture, and art, seamlessly blending tradition with a modern edge. An architect at heart, she doesn't just design, she weaves emotion into everything she creates. Always a true craft enthusiast, she finds beauty in the details that often go unnoticed. She's also a little extra special to me. It's her warmth, creativity, and unique perspective that have shaped not just within, but me as well. Today, we'll reflect on the season, dive into her journey, and uncover the stories and sensibilities that define her design philosophy. So let's get started with this heartfelt conversation with our one and only Sonal Tuli, co-founder and principal designer at Within. Hi, Ma.
Hi.
What's up?
All great, always.
I think this is the first time in the entirety of the podcast that I've done a thumb fist with any of the guests.
Yeah, I'm sure this one's going to be different.
Thoughts right now? Nervous, excited, anxious?
Happy.
Happy.
Yeah. Not nervous at all.
No, I'm asking because I know that you're not very used to this kind of a format and not very used to answering a lot of questions on camera directly.
Yeah, I was not very keen on the podcast earlier. You made sure it happened, but I thought it's just a conversation with you, so
Right.
I'm happy.
So I see this is a very special place that we've picked to have this shoot. May I know where we are and why this is special to you?
So this is a part of our carpentry workshop at Within, and very special place because this is where our ideas start being manifested.
Right.
Getting converted into actuality. So I love the energy here, the vibe here, and yeah.
So I really felt that during this podcast we had the opportunity to interview to actually I had the opportunity to converse with a lot of different people who came from a lot of different backgrounds. Uh, I really felt that I was lucky enough to go to their spaces and interact with them where they operate best. However, a lot of them asked me about the name of this series, which is Warm Hearts, Steel Minds. And it came to my head that you had the idea of naming this series Warm Hearts and Steel Minds. So I want to ask you what this phrase means to you.
Um, this is actually a combination that I personally strive for in life, and it is a balance that I've seen in my master. And so you have to have a steel mind for progress in life, for moving ahead, because there will always be circumstances. But your heart should always be kind and warm. And mine wasn't at a certain time in life. I'm walking towards that. Um, trying to love more and more each day. So it's a great combination to have where you are rising high because you're strong, but you're also so humble that your feet is always on the ground. Your feet are always on the ground. So
Did you, when you saw the episodes, did you feel that our guests kind of resonated with what you had in mind when you named the series Warm Hearts?
yeah, absolutely. Some of them I know personally, so I know they are very warm-hearted people. Um, I remember the lunch we had with Jayashree, her homemade self-cooked meal that we had. She was very warm. I know about Mrudul, how kind hearted she is. And also, we have known all these women rise so high in their lives, um, not just in their careers, but as multitasking women. It's not easy. Um and I think only the people who are grounded are really, really able to achieve that. People who are positive and women have a huge base here, because I see in all women, because they multitask at home, they are easily able to multitask in office as well. I think I have a bias there also. I talk about it all the time in office that we are so many women in office, lesser men. Um, because I see them, how strong they are, how organized they are, how um, warm they are also, because they know intimate details about everyone, how people are doing, how they want to help them, etc., etc. I didn't have those traits earlier, but yeah, getting there.
So the balancing kind of comes to the steel minds also. And very rightly said, because I feel when from a very young age, I've seen you very closely. So I've seen you as a mother, I have seen you as the co founder of Within, I have seen you as a designer, I have seen you as a wife. So when you balance so many aspects and all of these different verticals of life, uh, is it easy?
I think if you're positive, it becomes very easy. If you're passionate about things you are doing, it becomes easy. Um, so, whenever you have a certain circumstance in your life and you only attempt to look at it in the happier angle, it gets easy. Yeah. Um, I have been a very positive person since my childhood. I think the positivity has come back to me in all ways also. Um, it is possible, yeah, very much. And women do it with a lot of grace, yes. I'm proud of all the women, including my helpers at home. Everyone is doing so much with all the positivity, yeah.
Uh, you mentioned that you had this positive trait in you since you were very young.
Yeah.
I feel that Nanu was a very positive person, and that may have translated somewhere. But tell me about how how was life when you were a kid?
I was a very happy child. I got a lot of freedom from my parents, even though we were a typical Punjabi family. But my father gave me a lot of independence. My mother gave me a lot of independence when I was, like when I was dating dad. She used to drop me herself. At that point in life, it was not happening a lot. I was also a rebel. So I would not do the normal things. I would always want to be different and way out of line.
Only with Nanu or with Nani also?
With anyone, with generally with concepts of life, I think.
Right.
Why do women have to do these things and not expected from the boys? I would fight with my parents sometimes about why my brother is not expected to do something, or he's allowed to do certain things and I'm not. So I have always been a rebel, but I've been a very lucky child. Yeah. Yes.
But I feel that maybe it was your rebellious nature, you could say, or it could be, I think, the ease of letting go in the parents, Nanu Nani. You finally chose design, and they were quite okay about it. They were not very, you know, strong about. Strong is the wrong word. They were not very, they did not nudge you to pursue an engineering degree or a doctor degree or something like that. They were very open with go explore what your heart really wants.
Yeah, so I always wanted to be an artist. I wanted to pursue art because Nanu was in the construction industry. It was him who told me that, you could be an architect. So you'll get some bit of art and some bit of science. And
Right.
though I think I was always more towards the art bit. So I took up architecture because of him.
Okay.
And also, he had asked me before I got into a 5-year degree that, do you want to get married now or do you want to study? And I said, of course, I want to study. And like he was very okay about it.
But were you as passionate and driven about art, even though he kind of pushed it back then?
He didn't push it back. It was just like a suggestion.
Okay.
And I think it was a good suggestion, though architecture was not for me. I started with architecture, and very early in my life, I got into interior design. But I think it brought me a lot of knowledge about another aspect of design. So, in my journey throughout, I have been lucky to explore so much in design, from architecture to interior design, now product design, graphic design. Um, yeah, so I think it was just, we were just going with the flow.
How were you as a college student? Were you social, introverted, outgoing? I want to know your nature.
So, I was in a great college. I had lots to learn there, but I was also dating dad at that time. So I did not attend a lot of college as well. Bunking happened at that time. But I think art and design was always in my heart. So it, I did not make many friends in college, I'd say, because of the same aspect that I was out most of the time.
And I believe you were the first one to get engaged in
Yeah,
while you were in college, right?
yeah. I felt very shameful at that time. I got engaged at 24. I was the first one in my class. But because I was in this Punjabi setup and we were dating for 5 years, so I think it was.
I think that matters more.
Yeah.
Right. Uh, let's talk about life once you've moved out of college.
Okay.
You're dating dad, you've moved out of college, you're an architect, and you've launched your first practice. For some reason, it is only you, and you have decided that I want to do this uh, one woman army venture myself. And I really want to show the world what I have in terms of my creative spark within me. What was that?
So I was very lucky to get married into a family who supported me totally. Dadu actually gave me his small space as a tiny cabin I had, which was my complete office.
No, but that was before marriage.
No, that was after marriage, yeah. And so that's how I started, one person. Then there was another addition in the same tiny room. And then slowly as we grew, we took up a little bit more space in the home. I was happy to have a home office at that point of time because, especially when you guys were born, because it was very easy to maneuver the uh, relationships with office work. And then slowly, as things grew, we did shift out at a certain point. Yeah.
When when dad joined in, I think about 2007 or 2008, if I'm not wrong. Uh, how did your life and work life and personal life change?
So basically, as work was growing, I was not an accounting person. Earlier, I used to do all my accounts by myself by hand. And then, because he was into the subject, he started helping me out. That's how his interest also grew into this. He was a totally non arts, non architecture, non design person. But, with his nature of exploration and trying to understand new topics, he was very fast and he got there you know, there was a time when he was not confident in meeting people because it was not his subject. But very soon he told me that I don't need you. And earlier we were we are very different people, right? So I was enjoying my professional life in a very artist kind of a way. I want to do this much and I don't want to do this much, etc., etc. But with him coming in the picture, we sort of started targeting, planning ahead. What is it that we want to achieve? And also, with his business drive, there was another person who could connect to uh, architects and other people there. Things became much easier for me in the long run because then I don't need to meet anyone. I'm behind the scenes, I'm working, I'm concentrating in what I want to do. And so there were teething problems in the beginning. In fact, many. I think a year was not very exciting. It was more chaotic. But then we realized that we have our zones and we need to stay in our zones. And we keep telling.
And I think these contrasting personalities created those zones for you.
Yeah, of course. And I think till date, we have to tell each other ki this is my zone, this is your zone. So, uh, which is great actually for us because when we joined hands, we told each other that we'll be 1 + 1 11, you know. And it works very well because his personality type takes care of certain areas in work, and my personality type takes care of certain areas in work. So I think it's worked perfectly for us.
I think we are more than 300 now. Why do you think we grew? Uh, why do you think the country has appreciated the work that we have done, that you have done actually, you and dad? And why do you feel that within is at a stage now where we have received so much love?
I think that Bob and me, Dad and me, were just two passionate people in love with what they're doing. You know, I think that's about it. And then to add to the passion, there was a team. We have players who are 15, 20 years old also in the company. And
Okay.
yeah, so those people have done what we needed them to do. And but I think it starts and ends with passion. Still, you know money was never our goal. Yesterday only I was talking to someone that me and dad, we don't think about money. We don't talk so much in that language. It comes as a result. But we both just give in our best. And there's no timing. Like, you are time conscious and teams are time conscious nowadays. But earlier, there was nothing like that.
Right.
We were just passion driven people, working at any time. We wouldn't go back until this was done. And as a designer, it also kind of stays with you 24 hours, what you're working on. I used to always talk to my team that ideas are coming in the middle of the night. And, so I think passion is what drives it, has driven it.
Let's talk about your design philosophy. I have always found it to be very distinct and soulful. A lot of people who I meet at exhibitions where you are not present ask me, is this India modern? Is this global luxury? Is this timeless classics? What is it? So let's hear it from the horse's mouth.
I like eclectic mixing of things. Okay, so whatever I do, it is genuinely mixing a lot of stories together, a lot of genres together, a lot of uh, textures, colors, of course, but also time periods together. I like that. So we have tried to do a lot of different things over the years. as we exhibit at ID, we've done something called Summer of 23, which was a very farmhousey, happy mix of classical as well as quirky, whimsical pieces in a very, very soft pastel palette. Then we had something called, let's say, India Lounge, where it was very contemporary India. Now we are also moving further ahead to something more contemporary, cleaner lines in 2026 as an addition, because I'm never going to take away from within what the soul is. But surely we have an audience which requires cleaner, neater things as well. So, but I'll just tell you my nature as a person, which also reflects in design, that I get bored very easily. And I want to move forward with things. And I think that's why I started with art, architecture, interior design, furniture, etc. Yeah. So I also want to move on, create something new, another new thing. It just, but the language is more about mixing things together. Yeah.
I think also in your work, uh, there's a lot of Indian craft
Yeah.
which is there. I feel that we you have also used craft in a manner which is in a very so you've used Indian craft in a modern and contemporary manner also in some of the cases.
Yeah. A lot of the cases, in fact, we never use craft as is.
Hmm.
So, when I was looking at doing eclectic work, of course, I'm very, very fascinated with India. I'm very fascinated with Indian cities. I love traveling in India. And I tell a lot of people, our team, that India is traveling, worth more traveling than any other place in the world because it has so much history. I don't connect to places like Dubai at all. And I'm so fascinated when I'm working with the craft cluster of a certain area because it's a connection. It's the depth of work they do with hand. I love handwork. uh, and as a proud Indian, I over the years have felt that why should our work in India only stay in airports and places like this in the same repeated way that it has been showcased? Why does the stone inlay work, Parchinkari, be only on those Taj Mahal motifs on airports? So we went ahead. With trying to create pieces which really speak for themselves in a very, very contemporary language. It is very challenging for these artists also. Like
Because they break out of their own
yes,
comfort zones
yes. So
creating that.
the team has to really work hand in hand with them to explain exactly what we need.
Right.
They have to also step out of their comfort zone and deliver this. But I think there is that Indian pride that I want to. And I feel at this point there's so much talent in India, there's so much design talent in India also, that we must bring it onto our store as well. I really do feel it. There will come a phase when I will surely bring Indian talent to our stores as well, with their names.
So my next question to you was going to be, what was that one moment or milestone in your journey which you would really fondly remember? In my mind, I was thinking maybe when you found spirituality, because I know that it's a very large part of your life. And after diving into this journey, walking towards a certain path or on a certain path, there were multiple various life decisions that were made, personality changes. So was that one of your key moments of life?
Yeah, absolutely. It has been the most transformative experience and the happiest one as well. Meeting my master, I feel my life was actually made for that only now. And earlier, there was a conflict in my life that there was spirituality and then there was my life. Like my family, my home, work, and spirituality was a part of it. But I think as you grow into this zone, it becomes the whole of you. So there was a time when I didn't want to work so much. I did not want to give so much time in office and spend more time, and I could not because work was growing fast. And but then there also came a time when I realized that, you know, why can't I spend 100% of my time in spirituality even while being at work? So it actually became my field to practice, right? So it has transformed me a lot. I was very self centered, as in very self involved, I would say. Mast जिसको बोलते हैं हिंदी में. Um, I wouldn't know of what other people are going through because I was so into myself, into my zone, into my passion, So I think that is a great change that I see in myself. I have started to
Look outside.
outside for people, than just caring about my own self. And that's where love comes in, right? Love is not uh, attachment, and it's not possession, and it's not your own thinking, but it's when you're not looking at your own self and you're looking at everyone else as your own self.
Were you always the one who wanted to take the back seat when it comes to meeting people and celebrating your work with people, or has spirituality changed that?
I think I was meeting a lot of clients earlier, but still we were not on a national platform. There were not exhibitions there, but I like to stay behind the scenes. I don't have so much patience of, doing very long interactions, which are um, about products also, I feel. As in, I would like to make better connections. Like I'm enjoying this conversation right now. I would have enjoyed it with someone else as well. Not about really being there as a front face. I don't like to do that. I enjoy my time behind the scenes where I'm working, where I don't need. So even with clients, for
So
example,
this is to for all those listeners who ask me also, where is mom at the exhibitions?
also at the exhibitions, I feel my work is done. And we have worked so hard to bring it up there, and there you are now. It's up to the business development and sales team to take it from there. And then I just find that solo time for myself after such hard work. But generally also I feel, like earlier I used to have a lot of client meetings. I used to do those long meetings. I used to go out with the clients also sometimes. But with the pressure of growing work and so many departments now at within, I need to also devote my time there. So there was a time when I took this conscious decision where I felt that my time should go in the working of the project rather than just meeting up with the client and explaining the project.
Right.
So I'm there in the important meetings where it's needed, but otherwise I'm always behind the scenes. So I do tell my clients now that, I am working for you in the time that I'm not meeting you.
No, but it's interesting because you know at exhibitions we meet thousands and thousands of people, and many of whom really like to see our work every now and then, and they compliment the design that has gone into our work. So some people would want to be there and really hear about it. So it's just
So, earlier when we started the social media, also, I did not want to get pictures. I did not
right.
want to come ahead as, but we did change with the times, and I think we put enough on the social media to understand the stories, etc. And I think you guys do a great job at telling stories as well. Dad is a great one at telling stories, so I'm very happy you guys do it for me.
Uh, when we talk about material things, I think a lot of people now know that you are not driven by material things. You want to stay into the other side of the world. Uh, but at the same time, you are practicing a business which is about luxury. Isn't that very conflicting?
So, you know what happens in spirituality is not about the outside at all, to be honest. It's an inward journey, it's an inner transformation. And whatever you are doing, and then you sort of do something. For example, I'll give you an example from the history as well, because this question has arisen to me so many times. So, a king like Raja Janak or even Krishna, for that matter, have have the soul, the spiritual background, right? But it is about how you do that thing so beautifully, so in the moment, so with your full heart in, with full love, that everything becomes spiritual. So, and then there is another example of Kabir, for example, or a cobbler. There was an example, or there was an example of someone who used to cut meat.
Hmm. I don't know who this is.
His name was Sadhana Kasai. So he's cutting meat, and yet he's saying that I'm not the meat, and I'm not the animal, and I'm not the cutter. It's that level of understanding of the world as it is, that जो दिख रहा है वो नहीं है, और जो नहीं दिख रहा वो है. But we'll not get into that right now. So the outside really does not do anything. But what happens to me is that when while we are doing it, are we present 100%? While we are doing it, are we looking out for each other? While we are doing it, are we not present in the past and the future, and giving it what is the need of the hour? I think that's how.
When we talk about moving forward at Within, we want our teams to grow.
Yeah.
We want our departments to be self reliant. We also want our workplace to be very happy and hospitable.
Yeah.
How would you define passing on the legacy of Within? What would the word legacy mean to you?
A happy place. I think that's all there is. I would like Within to be a happy place, because um, everything good will happen when people are happy. You remember, I have been telling you since childhood that, even if you become a cobbler or an ice cream seller, be a happy one.
I would rather become an ice cream eater.
So I think that people will do their best when they are doing what they want to do. I keep asking everyone that what is it that you want to do? Like for example, Vishnu has just converted into something that I think you are very happy with. Yeah.
I think you know what I also feel that I think this is for the team who is sitting here also. Maybe they can also give their inputs to me after this. Uh, I feel that team members should really be highlighted through our social media platforms also.
Yeah.
We feel that there's a lot of work that goes into every department,
Yes.
and every member has something which is very valuable that they provide us with.
Yes, I agree. I agree. We are on the path of that also, and there are many other ways that they are being highlighted and will be. I totally agree.
Uh, when we talk about giving some kind of an advice for a future generation, right? This point really stuck with me. This was said by Ekta ma'am from Red.
Okay.
I asked them, so Maithili ma'am was also there, and they don't like me calling them ma'am, but maybe force of habit. So she said that, so I asked her, sorry, the question about give, what advice would you give for young women, you know? But she really told me that, maybe back in the day, it was that traditional, but today's society is more uh, open, more understanding, and more receptive to w- what our values uh, teach us today, right? Um, so this question should be framed in a way which is, what is the advice that you want to leave for creatives, young creatives, you know? So that's how I want to frame it for you.
So I think it's very important to explore, see, and I think it's very important to just jump into things. For dad and me, we did not have the resources, we did not have the experience at a certain time, and we just kept jumping in. We will see later what will happen. Just jump into the sea, and you will save yourself. Okay, so that's how we have gone ahead in lives.
No, so if someone comes and says to you, how do I begin? Your first answer would be jump.
Yeah, so start somewhere. Don't keep thinking that, the idea will be formed on day one. I feel that all the ideas that I have, or dad calls me idea ki dukaan, but they um, come as raw. But when you start working on them slowly and gradually, how you build onto them, apne aap the flow comes in. So, just trust in existence and just start the flow somewhere. Because what we do is that we keep.
Don't make it perfect, just make it happen first.
Yeah. And also that discipline is the most important trait of life. Self discipline is very, very, very rare. But if you become self disciplined, then you can conquer the world. And the world is actually within yourself, right? So self discipline, that you've conquered the mind. And because you've conquered the mind, then nothing can beat you in life, because it's nothing else outside of you that ever beats you. It's always your own mind that beats you. There is an anxiety, there is a fear, this might not happen this way, this might not happen that way. And the past and the future, so much baggage. So just release yourself and go with the flow, because existence shows you the way. Once you start trusting, stuff will open out for you, your ways will open out for you. And as a designer, I feel just experiment a lot. I always like to experiment. We go wrong so many times. We repeat processes. We fail so many times. But don't ever think that it's a failure, because the failure has told me what not to do. Some things tell you what to do, and some people or things teach you what not to do. So there is nothing negative in this world. Nothing.
I think I read a quote about this only. It said that I didn't fail, I fell. And till the time I stand up, I've not failed.
Yeah. So also the very interesting thing is, like, if a child is on a bicycle and he falls down, he'll quickly get up and he'll not even realize. Chot lagi bhi hogi, but he'll not realize. But we keep
Thinking
harping about the same thing again and again. 20 years back ye hua tha, 10 years back ye hua tha. And we get some kind of a pleasure out of that emotion also, that something happened to me. I think one must just get up, take the learning, and move on. And keep doing that. Get up, take the learning, move on. It's fine.
I also want to talk to you about the flip side of this, which really stayed with me from Mrudul ma'am's podcast. In a world of which is constantly changing, team members are constantly coming, and constantly going. Uh, but Mrudul ma'am had stayed with L for more than 20 years, you know. So, in this question that I'm asking you, what advice would you give young learners to, or young creatives to begin? What advice would you give, you know, uh, young creatives who actually join firms and move around, or
Yeah.
is it better to stay with a firm, etc., etc.? You get the gist of what I'm asking.
Yeah, yeah. So, when I get so many resumes for our interviews to check, I I do reject the ones who have moved on very fast, because to me, so, in some way, it shows lack of focus or lack of integrity also. If the firm is good and you are thinking that it's going to make you grow in all ways, not just monetarily, but I think it's very important to have a communication with your principals, what you want to do, because there might be a chance that they're willing to change roles, and but when you stay in a company, uh, the company really looks at you as someone who has given so many years of their life to an area. Right. And even if you feel that you are not being given what you want, you can make a space for yourself if you show the initiative. For example, if there is not a certain department in a company and you really want to work towards something, um, and if the company is in a position to be able to do that, you can make your own space and create your own zone, of something that you excel in. So, but I know people are very ambitious. They want to get experience from this person and then experience from this firm. And
I just feel that, you know, there's nothing wrong.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong.
But, and I'm only talking about people who move from one studio to another studio, is what I'm talking about. Uh, I just feel that maybe
Not
you
too
don't.
fast.
Ha.
So it's okay that you want to be in a furniture studio for a certain amount of time and you want to be in a design studio for a certain amount of time. But, when it's like 9 months, 1 year, 1.5 years, so basically you're not being able to churn out the best possibilities from that particular firm, because there is some time that you take in coming into a firm and understanding how you can grow, what you can give. And that's when your seniors will start looking at you in that zone, that okay, now what is the next step for this person. So your avenues also grow out much more after a certain amount of time, right? Earlier it is you breathing in and understanding the company, and sort of making a space for yourself, getting comfortable there. And just as you get comfortable, it should not be like that. It should be, now what can I give, where can I make a difference.
So the journey began with you starting on your own. Then a couple of team members joined you. Dad joined you. You crossed quite a large number of people at within. Uh, and then I joined you. I want you. It's been 2 years now. I just want to know if I have been helpful.
So very interesting. When you were studying design, I had all my hopes that Ishan is going to take over design,
Right.
As you know. And but when you joined in, and I realized what your forte is, and how you are so much like that in your personality of, meeting people. You love doing that, and how you then took over business development and sales part of the work. Um, I was always very happy that you should do what you love the most. But I think you're doing it very well. You're doing it in a very organized way. You have given a new turn to the IT department as well. And for both Rehan and I feel that you both will be very good leaders. You do have the leadership qualities in you, and most of it that you have the kindness and empathy that is needed to be a leader. So I'm very proud of you.
I'd like to smile at that.
I also feel, yeah, I do get a lot of compliments, and Dad gets a lot of compliments because he meets more people for you. And they say that अच्छी परवरिश है, या you have great boys.
Chalo, I don't have an answer to that.
I feel that it's all you, uh, because everything that you do in life is conscious. You are getting more disciplined by the day. And yeah.
I can only say thank you to this because I get a little bit iffy about Well, what do you reply to when someone is saying this
Say
about you?
nice thank you with a smile.
Thank you. But you're right. I feel that me and Rehan will gel very well because, like you and Dad, we are also contrasting personalities who are interested in different departments of work.
Absolutely.
So I think that yes,
And it comes out of choice.
it comes out of choice. That's right. As I believe that me and Rehan will, hopefully make a great team together.
Yes, you will.
I myself have also enjoyed these last 2 years in the company. With both of you and Dad around.
I especially love our lunches. And I think
That's fun.
we look forward to that. And I love the way you come to my office and, you know, say, ki, okay, guys, come back. It's lunchtime. Yeah, stop where you are.
No, but I think that that's the only time, we really get to talk about what each of us is doing in our departments.
Tell me, you tell me which time in these 2 years have been your happiest times, or what is it that you really enjoy when in within?
I feel that the factory really drives me.
Me too.
I really, really feel that uh, machinery and being in the factory drives me. But I also feel that uh, exhibitions are a very special part of the year. So I think I've done, I'm not sure, but maybe 5 or 6
Okay.
in the last 2 years. Uh, it is a really, really interesting time because we're working at different products, launching newer products. We're working at newer strategies for business development and sales. We are working at newer strategies to develop our booth better than before, right? It's a great time for me to interact with people because I love interacting with people, and also a great time for me to hear good things about the brand. Actually, it's also, I'll be very honest with you, it's a dopamine hit. It's like eating a chocolate for 8 hours of a day because there are thousands and thousands of people coming. Everyone is saying a couple of things, good things about it. So it kind of boosts our morale also, I feel.
I have a joke with that anyone who will come and visit you will always say good things.
Mhm.
So you should know what you are good at, you know.
Yeah, maybe, but you understand what I'm saying, no?
Yeah, yeah. I also really, really, really love exhibitions. I think it's the energy that is so fun. It is a lot of work, but it's just so little time and so much to do kind of energy. And I think that has been my energy all my life as well. I like to do more things in less time. And when I have too much time in hand now, not because I have spiritual reading or things to do, but I would get lazy. So this is the time when everyone's working at their best possible speed,
Yeah.
work, and then of course in the end the team gets together to celebrate that, what we made and how much time it took, but how wonderful it was.
I should also compliment you because uh, I think earlier the world, and by the world, I mean the audience that comes and looks at our booth, I feel that they did not really understand uh, what we do because we portrayed different genres every time. Someone thought that we are a artsy company, someone thought that we are a lighting company, someone thought that we are an art company. After, I think, being in the exhibitions for the last 2-3 years consistently, participating 2 or 3 times a year uh, with different genres of the booth, with different themes for the booth. I think the world now understands, the audience now understands uh, what it is that we are trying to show.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm just having fun. To be
But yeah,
very honest, I just am enjoying whatever I want to make. Exhibition is a time when there is no client. Do what you want, and you want to just get the best creativity out there.
After working about 20 years with the team,
Yeah, okay.
I think experiences have been there are multiple experiences which have happened. You might have learned a lot of uh, new ways to work with the team. How do you approach leadership today? What is your leadership purview? How do you talk to your team? How do you treat your team? I want to know all about that.
So I wasn't a good leader at one time. I had never worked in an organization. I was started working when I was in college, and it took me a while to get there at the basic minimum. Um, I'm still learning and growing every day. Of course, I read some leadership books. They are the only books I read. You know, apart from the spiritual books. Um, I think that I surely want to add a lot of love and kindness into what we do. I want to make people grow. I would like to invest in making them grow to different levels in the company and help them there what they are good at, and how can they excel in what they are good at. I also feel that we really, like, we are working on a lot of our systems right now. I think the best systems will bring the best growth. So as a leader, I feel systems is very important. As a leader, I feel empathy is very important. As a leader, I feel that their growth chart is in our hands, and that's where our responsibility is. As a leader, I also feel that the vision, the uh, way the company wants to move forward should be very clearly explained to each individual so they know what their take is in being a part of that growth, right? So I think that everyone should feel that we are a very important part of within, and this is what I do, this is the impact that it's creating.
So you mentioned something that you and dad really never saw the boundary of
Timing.
timing, working and excessively working. Um, but I feel in today's leadership, it is also very important to understand that there are hundreds working together. Possibly in the future, there are thousands working. Uh, and everyone may not be built the same way as maybe the founders who have really put in their blood, sweat, and tears into building something out of their passion. Where does uh, leadership define the understanding of work life balance, giving people the right time to work hard and work smart during a given period of time, letting them leave at a right time, letting them enjoy their break and not disturbing them when they're not at work, making them more free, more uh, happy outside of work also.
Yeah, I think I've learned this over the years. Me and dad, we both workaholics. We've been workaholics. And for me, I don't even need any breaks. When I'm working, I'm working. I would forget about lunch. I just work. So I used to think at a certain point that everyone's like that. But now I've realized since quite some time that people do need their breaks. They do need to have a coffee or a cigarette they do need their breaks, whatever choice they make out of it. Some people also eat fruits during breaks, or just lie down, or listen to a podcast, but whatever. I am not a person like that. So now we've made some rules in the organizations. So there's no working after a certain beyond a point of time. No one's allowed in the studio also. I do work very early and go on till late, which I'm also planning to change in the coming year, because I'm now making some changes in how and what my scope of work is also. So there are people who come and meet me early in the morning. Some
At 8.
new generation.
One of the team members is right here.
So I know it's a lot for them sometimes to wake up early, but then they can go back in time as well, depending on their day or their plan of action. But I'm working like I am.
Okay, so बहुत हो गया है asking of serious questions. I want to ask some really exciting questions, masala questions. Okay, I know that you and dad are opposites, right? And you conduct meetings in very different ways. I want to know about situations where it does not work.
So, okay, one of the things that we are contrasting upon is the talking time. Okay, so meetings, let's say, that does like really elaborate long meetings, and I'm like very precise and done up to point, go, and next meeting should begin because my calendar is very tight. It's minute to minute, you know. So I have to sometimes literally push him out that go now, it's and it happens all the time. But
Yeah.
I think he's getting there now. He's understanding, and yeah.
If we talk about getting angry,
Yeah.
I want your thoughts on anger at work.
Okay. Um, Honestly, I don't get angry anymore. I don't get angry with even the worst thing that has happened at work. But there are times that I need to push someone, and I need to tell them that this could be done in a certain way and why it was not. So there is a little firmness there. Yeah. And because I'm very disciplined in office, or because I'm um, a person with less words, or so even that firmness I think might be taken as, anger. But um, even when I'm telling someone about not coming in time, which is very important to me, punctuality is very important to me, but there is no anger at all.
It's
And
just firmness, which basically wants you
then
basically want the value to be.
yeah, also growth in everyone. Like, for example, Ishan, there was a time when I stopped being anxious about your results. So even if you would have flunked, or, you know,
Which I did.
a little
That's important.
lower in your marks, it never bothered me. I think what bothered me was that खुश हो कि नहीं हो. And I keep asking this question again and again to my team members. खुश हो यहाँ पे काम करके? Are you happy? I think so. Anger is not an issue.
To be honest, yeah, I see that anger is not the case with you, but I really like your. On the other hand, I really like your relationship with the team. I see that the need to be professional is there, but sometimes when things have to happen, so Ajo Bhaiyo is also coming into the conversations, which makes it a little warm and lighter.
Yeah, I think dad is really good at that because he's always Aajao bhaiyo.
Yeah. No, all of these things, giving a fist bump like this with the team, I think it brings in the warmth, and it makes us human.
They're all my special bachas. I love all of them. I'm very fond of each one of them. I really, really love my team. Each one, actually. I can't ever separate.
So, talking about team, you have various types of designers working under you. I want to talk about the product design team. Product design team is working with you throughout the year,
Yes.
developing iterations, modeling, sketching, coming to the factory, ideating with you. Could you explain the journey of creating a new product, a product which is coming from your vision and the team's vision,
Yeah.
which has not existed before? I want to talk about. I want you to talk about what goes into the depth of creating something new.
Oh, okay. It's a great, beautiful process, a tedious process. We start with inspirations depending on what we want to do. For example, if we are doing an exhibition and there is already something in mind, so we'll bring in inspirations for that. For example, when I looked at walnut wood carving as a craft, the craft inspired me to do uh, a piece. So we begin with the narrative, bringing in a lot of stories around that narrative, and then we pick up a few which really resonate with us. We create a beautiful story with a lot of layers. So that is design. Starting with design, the little bit of sampling begins. And sometimes it's a to and fro process. Something works, something doesn't work. And as soon as the sampling is sort of finalized, we look into the product. There is a lot of detailing that happens. Everything is taken care of, whether it's scale, proportion, color. There are a lot of variations that we do. We work simultaneously with the people in the workshop, in our workshop, and also with the craftsmen. Sometimes team members have to stay longer days to get something done at the workshop days. If you're in Kashmir or maybe you're in Karnataka for a certain craft, to make sure that that piece is where it needs to be. I'm very.
Is this process time taking?
Yeah, of course. Some pieces take more than a year. Yeah, some 6 months. But it is, and there's a lot of to and fro. A lot of involvement is there, and I love being involved because it's my baby. And product designers, each one wants to be involved in their products. So
When you talk about taking inspiration, you said Kashmir walnut wood carving. Where else do you get inspiration?
anything right now, I'm getting inspiration sitting here. Any my travels, books, uh, little things like, I'll give you an example. You might be aware, but maybe you've forgotten. Once Upon a Time collection came from a small thought of doing stories together in a piece, right? But but going back to the time when you guys were kids, and I watched this movie Shrek with you like 600 times. And so that scene of the movie came into my mind when all the fairy tale characters are together in one scene. So I said, why don't we do that? And that's how Once Upon a Time.
So the credit goes to me.
So, okay. And then, for example, when I was younger, when my dissertation days, I used to go to Chandni Chowk to draw the whole street early in the morning for my dissertation. And that came through in the Streets of India collection, for example. So you don't know which inspiration, which thought, which belief system, whatever's within your subconscious will come out in design one day.
But I feel traveling also has done quite a bit for you.
Yeah, travel is always great wherever whenever I'm traveling to any place, looking at different stores, everyone's work, new materials, new ideas. Of course, traveling is a very big part. Even nature helps a lot. Nature is a great inspiration. The textures you see, the combinations you see, every color comes from nature. So, yeah.
I I'm really proud of myself because of gathering the courage and the power to say no to going to museums when we're traveling. When we were very young, it was very difficult for me to say no, and you used to take me to museums, which are not really a passion, I would say.
When you were much younger, I think. I remember you pestering both of you to this Van Gogh movie.
Oh,
And
I remember that.
I just loved every moment of it. And you both, like these mean boys, told me that they were the worst movie of your life, which was really funny. So I think your interest lies in the way things are being made
Right.
rather than being designed.
Right.
And
That's when Bhai comes in.
yeah. So when I see you, in the making part of the things is which you enjoy a lot.
This is the world I
Yeah.
Really enjoy being in.
Yeah.
Moving on to the next part of the podcast, which is the game segment. I'm really excited about it. We have some fun, quirky questions for you. And I want you to be really spontaneous, honest, and fun.
Okay.
What does your perfect unwinding day look like?
Uh, a Sunday with a discourse in the morning, a nice lunch and a nap, and a free evening.
Nap is how long?
2, 3 hours before a glass of meaty lassi goes in.
Do you love the chaos of creation or the calm of completion?
Chaos of creation.
If you could give one piece of advice to younger Sonal, what would it be?
I don't change nothing. Everything is great.
Tough question. Who's easier to work with, dad or me?
You.
If
No,
you
but I have found the tact to working with dad also. So easy peasy now.
if you had to spend the rest of your life in one place, would it be the mountains or the beach?
It will be any place with my master.
So if your master was going to the mountains or the beach,
Beach.
would you call yourself a big dreams person or a small joyous person?
Small joyous person.
What's one thing you want to chase more often in life?
Nothing.
What's one habit or mindset you've completely outgrown?
Outgrown. Anger.
Okay. What's a song that perfectly describes your life?
जब अपने ही घर में खुदाई है तो काबे में सजदा कौन करे जब दिल में ख्याले सनम हो बसा तो गैर की पूजा कौन करे
Meaning?
when you are within, so when you find yourself within, you don't need to go outside ever for anything. Within.
Within. Branding. Are you more of a summer soul or a winter person?
Totally summer.
What's your go to Netflix TV show? And let it be known to the world that Sonal Tuli is an avid Netflix consumer.
So I love the Big Bang Theory
Right.
at the moment. I yeah I enjoy all kind of storytelling, and movies is a part of that. Books, movies. So yeah, Netflix.
What's your go to power outfit that instantly boosts your confidence? And if it's not an outfit, maybe it could be a color.
None. I'm confident anywhere. However,
If your life had a hashtag, what would it be?
hashtag love.
What's one rule you love breaking just a little? That no, I know this. I
Eating
know.
methi parathas at night.
With
Late
butter.
meal.
Sending the product for manufacturing before comprehensive is sent.
Yeah. Yes.
If you weren't a designer, what other career would you have chosen?
I would have been an artist.
What's the one app you open way too often?
Or I would have opened a tiny a bookstore.
Bookstore.
Yeah.
What kinds of books?
All kinds. I love all books. I don't read many now. I just read leadership and spiritual books now, but I have read a lot in my life and I love books. I'm like a kid in a candy store when I'm in a bookshop.
What's the one app you open way too often?
WhatsApp? Is it an app?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
What's your signature emoji in chats?
That ulta wala smile.
I don't know. I think we'll have to put it here. I don't know. Okay. Um, what's one thing you always end up collecting without even trying?
Books.
What's the weirdest place where you ever found inspiration?
Weirdest place. Any place, I think. I don't know. I can't think of.
Okay. What's your comfort meal after a long crazy day? And we close it at methi ka parantha. Great. I think we are done. And thank you so much for being the last guest on this series.
It's all because of you.
Yeah, I felt that you did not want to participate at first, but I think we had a
Yeah, I thought
enjoyable
we
and
can
great
give it a
time.
try. Yeah. At
Right.
one point, I did surrender and I said, let's give it a try.
Yeah. Lovely.
Thank you so much. I want to ask you a couple of questions before we close.
Okay.
I want to know what this podcast meant to you and how this experience has been, and what are your key takes, or give me some interesting things that you learned from this podcast.
This podcast has been a very special journey for me. Through the course of planning, traveling, shooting, I met and interacted with really wonderful minds. They taught me about soft skills like confidence, communication, uh, and they taught me about real wins of life, which are hard work and perseverance. Everyone had a unique character,
Yeah.
a unique and distinct personality. But the one thing that all of them had in common was grit.
Yeah.
I felt that
Steel minds.
rightly. Um, I felt that through these conversations, I understood different people and how they have operated their whole lives. I think I went into the minds of these people and got a glimpse of what their life has been, which was a great learning for me.
Yeah, I know it's been very tedious, the planning of the whole thing. It's been almost a year now since you started. And I'm very proud of you that you could carry it on your own shoulders with, of course, such a wonderful team. I remember being there for the first episode and telling you that bus ho gaya, bus I'm not going to be present in any of these. But I'm very happy that this journey's come through, and I enjoyed some of the podcasts that I have seen. And I hope this takes you to another level also of all the learnings that you've just shared with me. And all the best for whatever you intend to do next. I'm sure you'll do something great. um, it's been great, guys. I finally did it. Yeah.
Thank you for finally agreeing to do this. And I present you with this, which you have designed.
Thank you. It goes home with us.
Oh,
Yay.
lovely. And now I would also want you to sign on mine that just stands about 20 feet away from your room.
I love it. I'm going to churao it one day. Thank God there's some space for me.
Yeah. हो गया.
Yo.
Thank you. ये भी टूट गया थोड़ा यहाँ से. And let's keep it here.